Welcome back. The TCS Amsterdam Marathon took place yesterday on October 20th, featuring a fast and flat course renowned for its scenic views. Runners started and finished at the historic Olympic Stadium, passing iconic landmarks such as the Rijksmuseum and the Vondelpark. This World Athletics Platinum Label event includes a full marathon, half marathon and 8K, attracting thousands of participants from around the globe. Two such participants are seasoned Namibian runners, Kisting and Ingrid Jankowski. They join us this evening via Zoom from Arnhem, the Netherlands, to talk to us on this incredible experience and achievement. Denver and Ingrid, good evening and welcome to the Daily Roundup.
Good evening, thank you.
A very good evening, Nina. Good evening to your viewers. Thank you so much for having us.
It's lovely having you with us. First of all, a warm congratulations to the both of you. A collective, almost, I think, 85 years. There are those medals. Kilometers, that's outstanding. Is that correct? Almost 85 between the two of you?
I think it's important to state many of us speak of a marathon very freely, right? But a 5-kilometer run is not a marathon. A 10-kilometer run is also not a marathon. Guess what? 15 kilometers or 21.1, those are also not marathons. A marathon is only 42.2 kilometers. And that's what we each smashed. So collectively, that does amount to 85 kilometers in total.
Well, congratulations to the both of you. How do you guys feel, physically today after having run that distance yesterday?
But tired, still mentally very, still a bit tired. And then I can definitely feel it in my legs. The quads are stretching. It's like the muscles aren't long enough.
Yeah.
I have to say the following though, Nina. Ingrid is being incredibly modest. She is exceptional. She was able, I'm sure, to do another full marathon right after yesterday's one. While for the past 24 hours, I've been walking like a day-old kudu calf, barely able to move an inch. I look twice my age, bearing in mind that I'm already middle-aged. Can you just imagine? I am finished, but guess what? If you were to ask me, are you going to do something as crazy as this again? For this, certainly.
Definitely. Well, I actually thought that the both of you have competed in various marathons before. So correct me if I'm wrong, because Denver, according to your definition, nothing below 42.2 kilometers is considered a marathon. But how does the atmosphere at the Amsterdam Marathon compare to others that you've participated in?
Okay, so I've also only done
Yes, you have already done.
I've done 3 marathons, one in Cape Town, one in Paris, and then this one. But I can definitely tell you nothing compares to the vibe in Cape Town. The spectators are electrifying. So the Paris was also very nice and vibey. The Amsterdam was a bit more quiet. And the runs that we've done at home, the spectators is a bit space. So it's not so vibey, but the vibe in Cape Town, it's next to none.
Yeah. So Denver, this was your first?
Ingrid is again, she's the veteran. This is already her third one and her second one for this year. She did Paris in April. Wow. And now she did Amsterdam. I did my maiden yesterday. So I've done a couple of halves, 21.1, but this was my maiden marathon. I've done 2 Oceans half marathon a couple of times and some half marathons at home. I also have to admit the Dutch are a bit more reserved. Intermittently, I had to engage the crowds and ask them, "Hoekom is julle dan so taboe?" Don't tell them I said that, but that's also my observation.
But we know that the Europeans are generally known to be reserved, so that should have been what you should have expected.
But you know what? I still insist on greeting them. Whenever I see someone, it doesn't cost €1 to say, "Goedemorgen," a very good morning, and a particularly warm welcome to you, even if they don't reciprocate.
I want to talk about, perhaps you have some quirky rituals to prepare you before hitting the starting line, a go-to meal that you have or a playlist or favorite song that gets you amped. How did you prepare for this, Ingrid? You go first.
Okay, so you have 12 or 16-week program that you follow, and then the week leading up to the marathon is now the carbo loading week. So during that week you will hydrate. So I usually drink a rehydrant every day, and then carb rich and protein rich meals, so that your body just has sufficient energy on race day.
Yeah.
So that's mine. I firmly believe the week leading up to race day, lots of pastas and potato and,
Yeah.
and protein.
Yeah. Denver, did you follow the
What in
same
India, what's
regime?
non-negotiable for me on race day is some oats, a chopped up banana, and some honey. So before I came here, I asked Ingrid, do you guys also have oats in your shops? Will we find oats here? Because I can't do a race without oats. So that's how simple I am. And then a cup of coffee, of course, to start the day. I ordinarily have 2 cups of coffee, but you don't know what awaits you, especially if it's your maiden full marathon. So 2 cups of coffee would perhaps have been too risky. And I am brave, but I wasn't that brave.
I also want to ask, Denver, seeing that this was your maiden full marathon, I consider you, I think many people would consider you a bit of a fitness junkie, but of course, running a marathon of this magnitude would require a bit extra preparation. So how did you get ready for Amsterdam?
Credit goes to this friend of mine, Mrs. Ingrid Jankowski. She has gotten me to do a number of crazy things, but very deeply rewarding, deeply fulfilling things. And one such thing is this. So what is unimaginable is the jump between a half marathon, 21,1 and 42,2 in terms of preparation. You can sort of wing it if you prepare for a half marathon, but this one is very serious business. So over 12 weeks, the last day of which was yesterday, you run like you've never run before in your entire life. And because of our erratic schedules based on our erratic professional lives, you have to run at 11 o'clock in the morning in Windhoek. That was so grueling, 12 kilometers. And you know something terrible happened to me. When I started off 12 weeks and a day ago, my watch was tuned in on miles and not kilometers. So I really got off to a very rough start, running miles as opposed to kilometers. I couldn't understand why on earth would 8 kilometers last you an entire day to run. Hanakam, those were not kilometers, they were miles. Can you get it clear?
Oh my gosh. Ingrid, it's clear that you have a passion for running, and of course this being your 3rd full marathon. So I want to know what piece of advice you received, early on as a long distance runner that has stuck with you and inspired your running journey.
A very dear veteran running mentor, Anja Kreiner, she told me when I started, first you go far, then you go fast. A lot of runners starting out are so set on achieving their best, personal best, like running a sub 35K or running a sub 1 hour 10K or running a sub 2 hour 21. And that's normally where you get injuries, especially when you're new to running. So she told me, first focus on the endurance, the speed will eventually come. And I've always followed that advice, and my injuries has always been very few. So that's a very, very, very good piece of advice that I still carry with me.
Yeah. Denver, did you guys get a minute to celebrate your victories after completing the marathon? If not, what's in store?
Do you want to hear the family-friendly version or the version that's less family-friendly?
Both.
Listen, I also once again have to credit Ingrid for seeing to it that I made this through alive. At some stage during those 42,2 kilometers, I felt, shoo, the final day in this realm called the Earth has arrived for Denver Kisting. It's been good. I've got good innings, but okay, we're saying goodbye this way. And she was so innovative. She was creative. I don't speak much generally, but I do have my moments where I would speak slightly more than other times. And she would pick up, this guy is getting a bit quiet. Things are tough here. And she just saved my life throughout. But it was also, as grueling as it was, so deeply fulfilling.
Yeah.
Middle-age running and training to run your age in kilometers when you're our age is not for the faint at heart. So we had these ambitious plans of going out, pretending like we are 20, partying until the sun comes up on this gift of a Monday morning. guess what? We realized, you know what? It's best to just go home, take it easy, spend time with family, and just chill.
Yeah.
And it's fine.
Yeah. Did you guys take some
Have you
Epsom
been?
salt with, I want to know, to, help ease those muscles after this run?
Oh dear, you would normally go to a physio for a nice sport massage, but in the absence of that, you just take good old water and then you just smear it on.
We actually did it. We walked a bit today, and although it looks terrible if you see me walk, someone else, it induces pain on the person who sees me walk. I did manage a few steps, and I think that actually helped to move the muscles a bit.
Yeah.
Getting back into the swing
Yeah.
of walking. We're learning to appreciate being able to walk.
Yeah. Of course, running is greatly beneficial to one's health, but I want to know in your own words what benefits the sport of running has provided to you. Denver, you can go first.
I've also said this before. I run to save my life, and it becomes truer the older I become. That running is fantastic for one's mental health. It teaches you, it's meditation in movement. It teaches you one step in front of the other. It teaches you to mind your own business, stay in your own lane, drink your own water. It helps you process whatever you've been avoiding, because those just then say, hey, I'm here, I exist. I think it really helps you to clear your mind and excavate whatever's lurking in the darkness of your blind spots and your dark spots. So I primarily run generally for my holistic health and well-being, but certainly for my mental health. And I think running remains such a gift. And Ingrid also said it throughout during our journey yesterday. This is so precious. This is such a gift. This is such an honor. It's so beautiful. And the nature is incredible. And she would look at the autumn leaves here in the Netherlands and say, look at those beautiful brown leaves. And at that moment, I was busy perishing. I couldn't even appreciate that. But she helped me to appreciate that. So just being in nature and just also realizing that you're part of a bigger picture and a bigger planet and a bigger creation is such a privilege and so special. I think holistically it benefits your well-being.
Yeah. And Ingrid, for yourself?
Well, the same as what Denver said, but for me also, because I'm a mom of 3 and a career woman, so for me it's also that outlet. For me it's that the sanity that I get through my running. So for me it's my downtime. It's how I relax. It's how I just get back into my balance. So that for me it's a critical. Running is non-negotiable. It's part of life.
And as you can see there, Nina, we were very proud brand ambassadors for brand Namibia.
Yes.
We each had a Namibian flag in our running bags, and we took those out about 2 kilometers or 1.5 kilometers before the end, and we entered the stadium, the Olympic Stadium in Amsterdam, with our Namibian flags on top and behind of us in the wind. And that was a deeply special and deeply fulfilling moment, but also so incredibly humbling.
Yeah, looks absolutely wonderful. Just lastly, Denver and Ingrid, before I let you go, if running was a superpower, which I think Denver would say it is, what would be your superhero name?
Oh, I would definitely be the fairy mother runner.
Aha! I love that. I love that. I'm very tempted to say, of course, Superman. There's nothing more powerful than that entity. However, if the stats are anything to go by, that only 1% of the world population will, in their lifetime, run a marathon. According to me, all marathon runners, all marathon finishers are superheroes. So that in itself is what we should deem a superhero. And I feel so grateful to have joined the superhero club of marathon finishers yesterday.
Well, Denver and Ingrid, congratulations on being a part of that 1%, and congratulations on finishing this full marathon in Amsterdam and, flying that Namibian flag super, super high. It was lovely speaking to you this evening. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us, Nina. Thank you to our family and loved ones for supporting us, for praying for us, for carrying us over the 42.2 kilometers. It takes a village, yes, to raise children, but it also takes a village to finish a marathon. So, tapandula unene.
Thank you so much. Well, that was Denver Kisting and Ingrid Jankowski, two Namibian runners speaking to us from Arnhem in the Netherlands on their marathon that they just finished. Denver's first full marathon of 42.2 kilometers, and Ingrid's third. And of course, we applaud them for doing so well. It's